Totally appropriate.
Yeah, might get some dates.
Yeah.
And edit it and put it up on the web. It's a good battery. Okay. It's the good one.
Do a series.
Put it up and do a series.
What's that?
You could do a series.
Girls on couches who like to talk a lot.
Without coffee.
Right?
No coffee needed.
Oh, don't give me coffee.
I could just turn the camera on and leave, and you guys could go into your stories about like your boyfriends that let you down. They have this other
Don't
camp.
even get me started about the boyfriends.
See what I'm saying?
I don't want to talk about that.
We were at a camp in Flagstaff over the summer, and these ladies would sit around and do their needlework, and they would call it a stitching bitch.
Yeah.
And they would just talk about all their men, in their lives, and how they're all.
You need the time with
You
the
need the
girls.
bitching time.
We need that. That's healthy.
So we're still going to talk about, share a funny story, and then we're also going to talk about what advice would you give anybody that might be watching this that might want to give it a try, that's your age and is female, and maybe there's nobody in their lives that would give this lifestyle any consideration, but obviously if they found the channel and they're watching this stuff, they're interested in it, and so we're going to talk about what advice you would give to them. And so you can just put this up if you want.
I'm okay.
I'm definitely burning a
Okay,
little
take
bit.
it.
You look cute with that on. You
Careful, it's got some breast in there.
I had some.
Tressa was burying it.
Oh, Dresden, my little dog. I don't want to hit you guys with this.
Well, I had some sunscreen
Hey, that's pretty good.
earlier. It's way
Okay, are
over
you
there.
okay with you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, is that? Yeah, that's getting you too. Look at this, girls. We're all covered.
Yeah, solid. It's gonna switch, like he's gonna have a cut,
Okay,
and then it's gonna switch, and suddenly there's this umbrella.
Do you want to open it when we
Yeah,
when I start
sure.
asking
Yeah.
a question?
Tell me
Okay.
when, and
I
I'll
was
do
just,
it.
I mean,
No, I
no,
think-
I'm fine with
I
that.
think you're right. I do that all the time. In fact, sometimes I put a sound effect in, like fairy dust sound.
That is funny.
Like it just-
Oh yeah, so people aren't like,
That's awesome.
that was a weird cut.
I had some sunscreen
Hey, that's pretty good.
earlier.
Tamra, what would you say is the most difficult thing about living a nomadic lifestyle?
Start with Cami.
Okay, I thought of it. I am not like really good at putting things back where they're supposed to be. So, it's just that thing of like having to shift this from there and that to there. It's a small space, so you have to move stuff to access the other stuff, and that's really annoying to me. But like I said, it's gonna get better because of this, the cupboards that I'm having built. But for an example, this morning I was looking for my tea stuff, and I got into my cooler thing, and there was the ping pong paddle and ping pong balls I've been looking for. So I don't like, why did I put them in there? I have no idea. But if you're a little bit absent-minded like I am, and you don't really pay much attention to the stuff in your life, that can be a little hard. So that's something that I'm gonna have to change.
So staying organized,
Yeah.
but also on the other end of that, the juxtaposition is kind of the Easter egg find payoff, because I was reaching in one of my pairs of shorts yesterday, and I found these little cards that I've been looking for that slide into your memory cards.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been looking for them for like a week, and they were in my
I've
shorts.
lost track of a pack of tortillas last week. I don't know where it went.
And oh, how
The one
much fresh
that's on
food
the
have I
community
lost?
Pile. There's a community.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There's one
I was just
on
thinking
the
it was
table,
somewhere in my
and
car.
I ate one because it's been there for a little while.
I thought of mine. The hardest thing I think about my transient nomadic lifestyle as a single person is trying to date, because I would like to find a partner, and I meet more people and I meet really interesting people, but I don't stay anywhere long enough to really
that too.
I don't stay anywhere really long enough to form a deep attachment.
And
you
then
know?
guys kind of get pissy when you leave.
They do sometimes.
People say girls are the clingy ones, but when you're a girl who doesn't
When you're
like
an
to stay in the same
independent
place,
soul.
they're like, wait a second,
Yeah.
I want to be with you. So
Right.
you
Why'd
should
you make
wanna
me like
stay.
you? Now leave.
Yeah.
You.
How does
That's
that
hard.
voice go again?
That's how the boys I date sound. I don't even know what I
Very
did.
specific type.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Those bruises are gonna heal. What are you leaving for?
I don't know, like as far as dating for me, I post an ad on Craigslist, and I'll filter based off of how they respond to me, either on the text or on the emails or whatnot, you know, and so I'm like, be
Well,
very
you
careful.
stay in one place a lot more.
But
so.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
But wherever I'm at, you know,
I Bumble.
wherever I'm gonna be at.
I Bumble, and then I
Which is an
never
app.
go on dates. I've got all these guys lined up who want to go on dates, and I never go. Maybe now that I've got my shower worked out, I'll be able to do that. But if you've seen me on Bumble and we've had a nice conversation, and then I just haven't dated you, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna be better.
You were saying a guy meeting somebody on the road because your lifestyle's so different.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yeah. It also makes compatibility difficult too, because I have such an unconventional, unusual lifestyle, and not everybody gets it, you know. So along with all the other things that, you know, everyone has that makes it difficult for them to match with someone. Not only the fact that I don't stay put very long. I would love to find someone that I would stay put for. You know what I
And
mean?
the ones that are
or
like,
someone who would
I wanna
join
take
me.
care of you because you're in this situation. I want to get you out of this situation.
Oh yeah, no,
I
I'm not
wanna
in
take
need. I
care
don't
of
need a
you,
daddy.
but
You know, I'm not looking for someone to save me from my lifestyle. You know, but yeah, but it is tricky though, just to find people who are like primitive skills, survival stuff. What is you're a girl? You know, or like you live in your car, or like shave your legs, girl.
Michael
you know what I mean?
asked
Like
me earlier.
What
he's
happened
like,
in your life
you
that you
have a-
need
yeah,
to survive?
yeah, seriously. So not everybody gets it.
Michael earlier was saying to me, because I brought out some of my tools, he's like, you have a wrench set? Yeah, I kind of need it.
I love it when you can bust out a drill and you like put the right bit in, and then you tighten it by like pulling the thing, and guys are like, oh, okay.
You can use a tool, and yeah, it's like, what?
I love if I won't
cool.
say that I teach or something like that, but I'll bring up my interest in survival skills or something, and guys inevitably go, "Oh, maybe I could teach you some stuff." And I'm
I
like,
know.
They do that with surfing too. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll teach
Yeah.
you surfing.
The
I'm like,
mansplaining.
okay.
Mansplaining, yeah. Oh, maybe I could teach you some stuff.
I know from living in a van, I've been doing this for 5 years, that living in a van and doing what I do, and I spend a lot of time alone. I like to, like after this, I want to go off and be alone for a little while
Yep,
and
I
things
have
like
to.
that. I like a lot of alone time. So I'm out in the desert in a lifted van, and I'll put camo netting around it to shade it from the sun and stuff. But the things that I know, the skill set that I have, couldn't be more different than the skills that you have. You know, you have survival skills.
Yeah.
I have, it's time for a supply run.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
know
do
what I mean? It's a lot
forklift
different.
stuff
We
too,
can-
so like,
There's no, you know, there ain't no shame in gear. Gear is great. I don't have much of it just because I'm cheap. But gear can break or get lost or get stolen. Dave Westcott, one of my mentors, he says the more you know, the less you need,
Yeah.
and it's really true. So
I was gonna teach some of the guys how to make fire with a bow drill.
I'd
So-
offered that too. Let's do a friction fire.
Yeah, they're really,
demo.
they're really
Do a video?
interested. So
Yes,
I think a video
that'd
would
be
be
so
great.
great. Let's do it.
it's the bane of my existence, but okay.
So listen, if you guys wanted to, you could start a YouTube channel and do videos like that. And
Yeah.
at some point you might be able to.
I'm doing
Be
this
able
as
to-
a favor to you. I hate being on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The more incognito I can be,
you
the
can
happier
film me
I
then,
am.
Cammy. Just kidding.
Yeah, no,
I think that's
would.
pretty
You'd be
common.
a great
we
subject.
should talk about that. I think that's pretty common for a lot of women who do this lifestyle, who are young like us. They are not online. They are not heavily part of the community presence. I mean, we watch.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we watch. We know what's going on, but we don't engage because
Guys get
like,
weird, man.
guys get weird. And I grew up, I had 3 stalkers growing up, and then again I had a stalker the last time doing the homelessness for 5 months, and you know, and so it's something you got to be worried about. You talk about anything about your location, or like you mention, oh, we're here in this state, and some of them will come and seek you out, and they could be dangerous people, you know.
What-
I don't worry
what-
about any of that.
How did we get to that? I missed something. We were just talking about survival skills,
Sorry.
and now you're talking
Social
about.
media. I think.
Why I wouldn't do a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
YouTube
Yeah.
channels.
Okay, because people might find you.
I don't worry
They
about
might-
any of that.
Search you out.
Well, I'm thinking of doing like a 3-month lag or something on Instagram so people don't quite know my trajectory.
Teshia, what would you say is the hardest part of the lifestyle?
Oh, I got a good one. The one biggest thing I really don't like about living in my van is that I can't sleep in in the mornings.
Yeah.
I am awake with the sun and I go to bed with the sun, and I mean that's good. That's good to have the schedule. That's a benefit.
Actually, that feels
I like
good.
yeah, that's really
it's
nice.
very healthy.
But I love to sleep in the mornings, and it gets really hot, so sleeping during the day is really difficult. And I mean, that's my biggest gripe, really.
I might be able to help you with that.
Yeah.
I started putting Reflectix in my windows over the summer, and I can get another hour and a half in now.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna put up the plasti dip and stuff, and then since it's winter time, I really don't need that. But I do have a evaporative cooler that I can use once the solar is in. So that's gonna be nice.
The holidays. What do you ladies do for the holidays? Do you visit family? Do you visit friends? What's different about what happens around the holidays in your lifestyle compared to if you were living a conventional lifestyle? Anything at all?
Well, the thing is, when I had a regular job, you know, you're limited by like however much time off and stuff like that. And I can go and do whatever I want. You know, if it's go to Mexico with friends, cool, I can do it. If I want to be with family in Barcelona or in Italy, I can do that. If I want to be with family in Florida, I can do that. You know, so it's just freed me up to do whatever the heck I want, which is different with every holiday. So
More freedom, and more time. Cami?
For me, I've been out of the country for most of the holidays for a while, but I'm gonna be with family, and I'm gonna love every second of it. One thing that I want to mention, I can go stay with my mom a lot. If
Cool.
the microphone caught that, that's the voice of a very good guy who's doing a lot of work and
Let me see if
came
it's
here
good.
basically to help people because he didn't need a lot. So Danny's a good guy. Can
gonna
you
get a
come in the
picture of Danny
camera,
at some
would you?
point.
Or just if you want to.
I'll come in there.
With that
I'll
introduction.
join the ladies.
Well, this is what
Very
you're gonna have to do
knowledgeable,
to be
very
in,
cool
in the
dude.
shot. You're gonna have to come
Danny
like in
Claus.
the yeah, there we go. There's Danny. He's been helping out a lot. It's been a real blessing to have
We're
him here
grateful
because he
for
has
that.
a lot of skills and a lot of tools, and he's been very generous with his time and resources.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate it.
totally.
Thank you,
Okey-doke.
Danny.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of time with my family, and I'm going to revel in every second. You don't appreciate what you have till it's gone. When you're in a different country and it's Christmas and you're sitting alone, you're going to miss that family, and I'm so glad I get to be with my
Make up
family,
for lost
who's
time.
awesome. Yeah, and also my mom, I go stay with my mom a lot, or have since I've been home from Taiwan, and I have kind of a slightly different perception of this. Sorry, I hope this isn't too off topic, but when I was in Taiwan, I had a friend who was like maybe 37, 38, real handsome guy, real charmer, you know, and we were talking, and he lived with his parents, and I was ribbing him a little bit. I was teasing him the way you do, you know, about guys who live at home, and I was like, oh, does your mom do your laundry, blah, 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 and he's like, yeah. And then, so I was just giving him crap about it, because that's cultural, you know. In Taiwan, you stay with your family till you're married, and he's like, I don't want to get married. So he was staying with his family, and then he's like, Cami, like, let's seriously have a discussion about this. He's like, why would I leave my parents? They want me there, and they love me, and we get along great, and you know, it would be ungrateful of me after all they've done for me to leave their house and leave them lonely. And that just made such an impression on me, because I was like looking at it through my American eyes of, oh, you're a loser if you stay at home or whatever. And luckily I get to, you know, escape that stigma, because I have lived in several other countries alone, going over completely alone, and so obviously I'm capable of living alone. But now I'm like, dude, yeah, my mom's awesome. I love hanging out with her.
Oh, yeah.
Why shouldn't I go stay with her for a month during the holidays? Give me a break from the road.
Totally.
And yeah, so I don't know, that's great.
Family is awesome. I have 20 nieces and nephews,
Yeah.
and being
Wow.
mobile means that they know me, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I said, we live all over the place. And so the fact that I'm mobile means my nieces and nephews know me. They recognize me. They get to hang out with me, you know?
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Since we're all Americans, we all grew up in American culture, do you think that there's any truth to the fact that marketing might have something to do with telling us to move out of our
Yes.
homes?
Keep
Because
that economy
if
going.
we move out, then we have to get an apartment, we have to
Our own
furnish
car.
it, we have to
Exactly.
get a car,
For
and
me,
so
it
we're
was financial. Like, it was just suddenly my income was counting against my mom, and she couldn't take care of the rest of the kids, so I had to leave just because, just to protect my family. I had to leave so they could continue to get the benefits that they were getting in order to survive. So it wasn't a choice.
I definitely think though that we're programmed with discontent. We're programmed with shame about not having enough stuff.
You know what gets me is like if you were to do a breakdown of your time and figure out what percentage of your time goes towards managing the impression that you give others based on advertising and everything like that. I think most people in a conventional lifestyle, that would be like 70-80%.
Yeah.
You go to your job, you launder your clothes. Well, I mean, it's nice to have clean clothes. Makeup, all that stuff, where I feel like in this lifestyle, that's like maybe 10-20%, and it's just for my own joy. It's just because I enjoy it, because I can be alone and really experience life independent of that pressure.
And you look at the advertising, and
a lot
so much of the advertising is, you can see that it's based on embarrassing you. Yeah. It's based on shaming you. It's based on telling you
your body's
not enough.
No. You should be different.
You don't have enough. You're not enough. People don't like the way you are unless you have this product or unless you purchase this service, you know.
Well, let me ask you guys something. You've all three been around my van, probably all three been inside of it. You've been around it for a few days. Have you noticed the big dent in the sliding door?
No.
Okay, so if I lived in a conventional lifestyle, I'd be taking that down to the body shop and getting it fixed because I have a dent in the side of my vehicle. I can't pull up to the
what will the
party
neighbors
with that.
think? Yeah.
So there's a lot less social pressure out here.
Totally.
I don't even think about it. If I had the money to fix it, I would put the money in the bank for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot less social pressure out here, and I think it's a good thing. You know, I go when I'm changing my clothes, I go by how many days I'll say a lot of times, day one on these shorts. On day one.
Yeah, totally.
Let's see how we do.
Totally.
You know, and you're talking about laundry, but the thing
Clean
is,
it when it's
people
dirty.
throw
Switch
things
your underwear inside out.
one day.
I do that.
And then you use panty liners. We got those as girls. That's nice.
I just go commando.
Oh, tampons. We should talk about tampons and periods on the road.
And
You know
I have
what?
another
You're the
point about
only
the
people that
holidays.
would ever be able to talk about that because the interviews that we've done before have been from folks that have
Are past
grown out of that.
Yeah.
So do you mind if I just, what's the best way for me to ask that question?
We were
How do
talking
you guys
about your
address-
lady time.
How do you bleed on the road?
Tell us about surfing the Crimson Tide.
What happens when you get
Aunt Flo comes
visit
to
from
visit?
Aunt Flo out on the road? Where does she sleep?
You can make it funny. I'm chill with that. It's not offensive to me.
Well,
There is absolutely no problem with it. It doesn't limit me in any way. So, same stuff you'd usually do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will take a water bottle into the bathroom so I can rinse off a little bit and stay fresh. And that's about the only change. Yeah.
I use the cups, you know, just less garbage, less waste, less cost. So, yeah.
okay.
I use sponges, which are
Oh, I've never tried that.
they're
I've heard about this.
I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're sponges, and you can find them for like makeup in your face and stuff because
might
they
have
I've heard
about
about natural sponges that people use too.
I'd be scared of
because
the
the
chemicals in
FDA says you can't sell them for I'm not talking about makeup sponges, but they're natural sponges from the ocean, you know, and you have to wash them out because they have dirt in them and whatnot when you get them. But the FDA won't approve them for sale to be used as tampons because they haven't done studies on them. However, a lot of
Because
people
nobody
do
is
use
making
them
money
and
from
have
that.
been using
Right.
them for over 100 years,
Yeah.
you know. And so I just get the sponges, and when I get them, they're usually pretty big, and I'll cut them in half, and that's the perfect size for me. And I just use one sponge per cycle, and
just wash
it
it
lasts, like, I just take it out every 4 hours, rinse it, wash it out, put it back in.
I might try
And
that because the
then-
Yeah, I've been
cups
meaning to
hurt
look
me.
into it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, but yeah, traveling hasn't impacted the way I menstruate really
Yeah.
very much at all. So yeah, you just find a public restroom or just go.
I think
find
that
some
water
dirt
bottle
somewhere.
trick is great.
Yeah,
you just,
the squirt
and you
kind.
know what? Well, or even any water bottle. You just kind of dribble it and rinse off because, and that's actually even when it's not, you know, like even when I'm not on my period, because I just like to stay fresh.
Pits, bits, and slits.
Yeah.
It's important.
Pits, bits, and slits.
I had another point about the holidays.
Okay.
And just visiting family in general. What I love, one of the things I love about living in the van is that I can escape if I need to, which as an introvert and somebody who loves a lot of alone time, that's just really, really nice. And I feel like when you usually visit a friend, you have to get plane tickets or whatever, days off work, and you're like, I'm going to come stay with you for 3 days. And then you go there, and if things fall flat, or, you know, like people are weird, maybe it's a bad time for them and they were too scared to tell you, or they wanted you to feel welcome, but actually, you
Or
know,
like something happens
they're
in
like
their home
me.
or their family that
Phone call could
somebody
come in.
gets
Yeah.
sick, and that feeling of feeling unwelcome in the space where I have to sleep is, to me, just the most excruciating form of like social awkwardness. And so what I do now is I'm just like, oh hey, my aunt in Seattle, let's visit just for lunch. And then, you know, so I'm hanging out with my aunt,
and you're not dependent on
we
them.
talk for 5 hours during lunch, and we're like, okay, let's go get dinner. And then she's like, hey, why don't you just sleep over?
Yeah.
And then it's just this wonderful, spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
And when everybody's ready, when you feel that kind of drop in energy and people want to be alone, instead of being in their space, you can just, okay, I'm going to go get in my van,
Yeah.
go down the road, or I'm going to go get in my van, do what I do, and then, yeah, you get off work later and you want me to come have dinner? Cool.
Yeah.
Having that freedom for
Totally.
me is heavenly. I love it.
So you're able to have better relationships with your family because of your lifestyle.
I feel like I do.
Do you guys think this is going to take hold, and in 20, 30, 50 years a bunch of people are going to be doing it?
I think it's
After this video, probably.
Well, there's plenty of influence and plenty of voices still encouraging people to consume more, buy more, live in bigger houses, drive fancier cars and stuff like that. So I think that trend will never stop. You know, people since the beginning of time, people are keeping up with the Joneses. Since the beginning of time, we have ego and status. You know, so I think that's definitely going to continue. And also, this isn't for everyone. You know, there's
it can be
nothing
hard.
wrong with living in a house. You know, that's great. There's nothing wrong with having responsibilities that keep you to a place. There's a lot of benefits to that, actually. There's
if you
pros
like
and
your
cons.
luxuries,
Yeah, or
You're not
even
gonna like
but
this
there's a lot of
life.
people who live simple. There's a lot of people who live simple and live free in a home and stay put. And ain't no shame in it, you know what I mean? So that's great too. But I do think though that as we get extreme on one side, there will always be people who want to polarize and who see the error of this extreme and who want an alternative. And so I think we will see an increase of people who are getting free, you know, and whatever getting free means to you, it doesn't have to
Right.
mean live in your vehicle, get out of debt, quit the job you hate and find something you like to do. But I think people are going to continue to feel enslaved and entrapped, and to, you know, you can medicate or you can get free, you
so
know.
many people are medicating. Yeah, I
Just
feel like
so you can stand your miserable life, but just have a life that's not miserable, and you don't have to sedate yourself to take it.
I feel like my
Good
dog, my dog is my canary in the coal mine. If she's agitated and she's not healthy, you can kind of see when a dog doesn't get enough exercise, when they're socially isolated, blah, blah, blah. When I can see that in her when I'm in the city or something, I go,
We gotta get out.
oh, I'm not healthy right now either. If my lifestyle is not good for my dog, it's not good for me. So that's like part of how I do it. And I don't think I'll need medication. But so many people do when they're stuck in these boxes and these jobs that they don't love. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a lot healthier.
I used to feel when I would go to the grocery store and I would stand in line, or if I would go to a restaurant, let's say we all decided to go out for pizza, I used to feel when I was sitting in that restaurant that I had a secret, that everyone else
Yeah.
lived in a house. And
I've cracked the
it went
code.
away.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
figured out the secrets. Yeah.
Some-
I feel like I'm cheating somehow.
It's like you've seen from the other side. It's like you've broken the paradigm. You've broken this, this programming, and you're able to see like
You
the
found
Matrix,
the
so to
key.
speak. You're able to see that what it really is, you know. And it makes me sad to see people, because I really was, and also I don't want to project that everyone who's living a life like I was feels the way that I did.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do look at people and I see those patterns and I feel sorry for them, because I found the escape route,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And they feel sorry for you because they think you're suffering.
Exactly
It's
right.
like a
Exactly.
circle.
And it's so funny.
But
One concern I do have though is about like making a lifelong impact. Like most people, they do have a career or they have kids or something like that, where it's something that will maybe, depending on the career, last after they are dead and gone. And that's something that's really important to me, which I feel that my friends a couple of my friends have really cool careers. And I'm like, I'd like to also, I don't just want to frivolously live from day to day for my own pleasure. So that's something that I'm kind of working out right now. Like, how am I going to make this world a better place by having been here?
Yeah.
So that's something that I think is easy to miss out
I think
on.
about that a lot too with this lifestyle. Just making sure that I'm not just going from adventure to adventure, but I am making a contribution, and I am doing something worthwhile. I am building myself. I'm building other people. I'm building something. And my adoption work, which I can do remotely, a lot of it, and which I travel for, is something that allows me to know that, like, yeah, I am doing good in the world, you know? And also the skills that we teach to people, it's freed me, and it's been good medicine for me. And so the fact that I can share that with people and invite other people to experience that good medicine, you know.
Take a survival class. I love it. It's so good.
It'll open up your world. But also I feel like it's just really easy to become self-absorbed if you don't check yourself for it. With this lifestyle, it's really easy to become like, I'm just gonna do all my hobbies, and I'm just gonna, like, you know, have this fun life, so I have the pictures for social media, and, you know, so that but so I try to check myself on a regular basis and be like, just even day to day doing simple and small things, you know what I mean? I want to evaluate at the end of the day, and I don't always do it consistently, but I want to evaluate at the end of the day, and I want to set the intention at the beginning of the day of am I going to do some good, you know, so that I don't feel like I'm just drifting
Service
from
to self.
just drifting from adventure to adventure, excitement to excitement.
And if you're getting into this lifestyle, it's not about the adventure. It's not about the adventure at all.
Yeah, it's kind of adventurous for me.
I guess for me, it's about the lifestyle and
the simplicity,
about the benefits, the great benefits that come with it, because you have such a better quality of life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, you do.
Less complication, less distraction. You can get down to the business of doing what we're here on the planet
and you have
to
so
do.
much more time to be able to do those things that make a difference.
And sometimes a vista on the road just opens up to me, and it's just so beautiful. And I just get
tears.
this overwhelming sense of bliss, of well-being,
Have
and
any of you guys been
gratitude.
Just want
south
to hug the world.
on 95? Have any of you guys been south of Lake Havasu?
Driving in, I think.
Did you came from Parker?
No, no.
Okay, so where we are right now is we're in Lake Havasu, and we go down the Colorado River, and the next place is Parker. The drive between Parker and Lake Havasu is one of the most beautiful drives of any place that I could recall. And so you guys have got that to look forward to if you leave out that way.
And there's so many of those drives.
Yes. This is a beautiful country.
It is an amazing
beautiful
country.
And you don't have to check your passport at every border.
No.
Yeah, our states aren't like countries like other places.
But it's just breathtaking wherever you go. There's and different vistas, different geography, you know, different culture.
Yeah.
This is a really beautiful country.
And what I love too is that because I don't really have any deadlines in my life, or very few, if I just see a dirt road that looks, that looks interesting, I'll just turn down
Explore.
Or if I see a hike that looks cool, I'm just gonna go do it.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about time. When I have some place that's maybe 8 hours away, I try to give myself like 10 days to get there. Because I'll go 1 or 2 hours a day and get lost. Just go get lost. It's awesome out there.
Well, you've got Sarah Park down here. You've already explored the lake, right? You guys went down and did a lake day. There's another place called Sarah Park that's further south, and you can just punch it into your phone, and that's worth exploring. So you've got that going for you. Let's talk about the funny experiences that you guys have had since you've lived this way. Who wants to go first?
Do them first, I'll think of one.
You first, Teshia.
All right, this is the fun one. Well, I guess it's not fun. It's the frightening, hilarious in retrospect experience.
Okay.
So it was about halfway through my 5-month excursion, and this guy started stalking me, and I used to work with him.
This is how you're funny.
It's really funny.
You'll see. You'll see.
I'm getting it.
This is my. It's my story. It's my story. It's the only story. But no. So this guy started stalking me, and following me to Barnes and Noble, always the same one, you know, and just staring at me. the whole time that I was there working
that's
for up to
awkward.
2 hours. And so, of course, I called the cops, and I got the cops involved, and the cop I worked with, she had been trying to get this guy for years, apparently. I was not the first complaint. And she's like, if you can get him on video, we can prosecute him and all that stuff. And then suddenly they moved her to a different department, to a different city. And I got a male cop, and he's like, so he's staring at you. There's nothing against that. You know, and he was like, that's not stalking, you know, and I'm like, he's doing more than just staring at me,
Like,
you
it's
know, he's
messing with
following
my
me
life.
around. I've asked him several times to leave me alone and stop following me, and he's timing it so that he knows my schedule, all that stuff. But so, like, the day after that happened, I got this new cop that was on my case and pretty much dropped the case. Then the next day, I'm like just stressing out. I'm like, okay, I'm never going to that Barnes & Noble again. And so I go to this location to sleep that night, and I'm like, I just want to sleep really well. And so it's a really dark spot, out of the way, nobody's there. And there I am, I've got all my tints up so nobody can see in. My dog is in the passenger seat, and I'm like browsing on my phone, and the light is shining in my face, and this car parks next to me, and 2 girls and a guy get out, and they start like yelling at each other, and the girls are like crying and stuff in the back, and then the guy comes up to my passenger side, and I start hearing scratching on my door, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is he? And then I realized he's trying to steal my car. And so I was like, you know, you get all that prep. I talked with my psychologist, all that prep of everything you're supposed to do, honk the horn, you know, call the police. I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't even have the mace or anything. I was so angry that he was trying to steal my house. And I smacked the window real hard. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he falls back on his car. And this is a really big, buff dude. And he screams, oh shit! And they all pile into their little car and drive off. So they all drive off, and I'm feeling pretty powerful. I'm like, you know, I just fought them off, you know. And this was when I learned, when it comes to fight or flight, I'm fight every time. You know, and it's safer that way, I think. But then I'm starting to think, oh, I should move. You know, what if they come back? Excuse me. So then the next night I go to a different spot across town. Safest spot I can find in town, right? And it's raining really hard. And like pouring, and and finally I fall asleep. Sarah's right there next to me. And with the guy stealing my car, she didn't do anything, just sat there. But there I am, Sarah's right next to me, we're just sleeping, and then this bright light, boom, crash, this loud noise, holy shit, wakes me up. Lightning struck the tree that was right next to me. It was probably about 5 yards away from me.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit, what should I do? Should I move? Should I go somewhere? No. The safest place is the car. Stay where you are. What are the chances of the lightning hitting twice? So an hour later, you know, finally start drifting off, falling back asleep. Boom! Crash! Oh my god! Okay, I'm okay. Don't go anywhere, don't do anything. Safest place is the car, you know.
And you've already got anxiety.
And I've already
as
got
it
this
is.
history with anxiety, and I have a fear of open spaces and closed spaces, and so now, of course, I have a fear of lightning strikes. Sarah, by this time, is kind of getting restless. We keep waking up, what's going on, you know? An hour later, boom, crash! Lightning hit that tree 3 times
What?
in a row.
Ever? Maybe it had like
No,
static
I can
buildup.
I'll take
Maybe.
a picture and send it to you. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
That's crazy.
But it cracked down the middle, and it was just insane. And then the next day, I go to drive. I can't turn on my car.
I was gonna say it probably messed up your car.
Yeah, and my battery was dead. But fortunately, it didn't hit the car itself. I was just close to the tree. But
Right.
oh man,
What a
so
series
that's
of
my
events.
funny story. Is like that
I
was
mean,
That's crazy.
just
times,
crazy
not
month.
just one.
Constant, one after another, and it kind of it showed me, you know what, I'm stronger than I thought I was. That's probably the worst kind of thing I'm ever going to go through on this, and I did a damn good job getting through it, and I can face anything.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
Well, good job.
yeah, that's my funny story. Funny.
Cami, what do you?
Oh, I
what
have
you got
one
for
now.
us?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so